Welcome back, Balance Beamers, to The Balance Beam. I'm your host, Naketa Thigpen, and I'm excited as always to be here. This morning, I'm extra excited because we have a Shecanic in the house. Patrice Banks from Girls Auto Clinic. Patrice, welcome to The Balance Beam.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You have a lot of energy this morning. Wow.
Well, I think some of it comes for you because we had a good opportunity to just chat a little bit as friends do and just relate and fuel each other with some great spastic energy. So I'm excited, especially being around a smart person.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. This is super cool. I've never done something like this before, actually. So.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. The podcast is awesome. Balance Beamers are amazing. And we just have a lot of fun, so you'll really enjoy it. So thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So Patrice, why don't you tell everyone who doesn't know you, because tons of people do know who you are from all the wonderful challenges and contests you just won, a little bit about you.
Okay, so my name is Patrice Banks, and I describe myself as an auto mechanic that caters to women. And I have started a company called Girls Auto Clinic, and we educate and empower women through their cars. A little bit about my background story. I was what I like to call an auto airhead. Just like millions of women out there, I knew nothing about my car and how to take care of it. I would fear the auto mechanic. I felt taken advantage of every time I went in, and I just didn't trust anyone that worked in there. And so I was tired of feeling that way, feeling hopeless, of not understanding my car. And actually, I'm an engineer by training. I worked as an engineer for 12 years. So as I was researching, I started researching online to find information I thought was going to help me. I even Googled female mechanic, Philadelphia. I remember asking Facebook, does anyone know a female mechanic? I'd like to get some help with, and learn about my car. And I thought a female mechanic would be useful and could help me learn and share. I was planning on blogging about it and sharing with other women, and I couldn't find anything. So that's kind of where a light bulb went off and said, wow, there's an incredible opportunity here to help people, to help a lot of women who are like me. And so I went back to school. At night, I was working during the day for DuPont as an engineer, and at night I was going to school for automotive technology and learning about cars and how to work on them. And I started this company, and with providing services and education and resources to women, so they feel empowered, they feel good about their cars, they feel good about themselves, and they feel confident with their buying choices when it comes to their cars.
That is phenomenal. You found a serious gap in the market and you filled it. That's incredible.
I'm trying to fill it.
Right.
You know, it's a huge gap. It's a very big gap. I mean, when you look at the statistics, and I kind of dove into this off of just a hunch, like, wow, this is a good idea. But as I was getting more into the industry, and I did not realize how incredibly large this gap was. Like, women are the #1 customer in the automotive industry. We spend $200 billion a year buying cars and repairing our cars. You know, we drive more cars than, there's more women drivers now. We hold more driver's licenses than men. You know, we take our cars in for repairs more. We buy more brand new cars more than men. So when I started finding this out, I was like, wow. But yet women who work in the industry, there's no mechanics. Less than 2% of mechanics are women. Less than 7% work at dealerships selling cars, or, working as service advisors or managers at dealerships. Like, you have all these women in this market that are driving it, but just feel mistreated, misunderstood, and not included. And I wanted to, and as this started like opening up, my mission for this just got big and a lot grander. As like, I want to make history here. I think this is has the opportunity to be incredibly big and make some serious impact and have serious impact on people, women and men, and the industry.
Absolutely. Yeah. I could imagine, I'm car challenged. Is that a phrase? I just made that up.
Auto airhead. That's what I say. Auto airhead. It's okay. I call myself an auto airhead. I still am. I still do things that I'm like, I should know better.
No,
it's hard.
I
Changing
love
that mentality. It's hard.
Yeah. It's definitely hard. But I think my husband would say, yeah, Patrice Banks is running a class, a workshop, a clinic. Go take your car over to her because I don't have time to deal with that right now to, go to his guy, so to speak. And I do the majority of, setting the car up for oil changes and going to get it inspected and all those things, and typically have to call back to him. How awesome is it for me to be like, oh, I know they're overcharging me, or I know they're trying to tell me to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed.
Well, and it's funny because it's not, people think, well, for us as women, we're like, well, do we have a husband or a father or a brother that can help us or come with us? But sometimes even when we do, we don't feel comfortable. You don't want to have to run to your husband every time. Yep. Like, oh, do I need this? And a lot of times these guys don't know it either. And, I love telling the story about how I came out of the gym and I saw two guys trying to jumpstart a car and they were doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. And it sends me back to the times that I've been stranded on the side of the street. And of course, a guy sees a pretty girl in a car. She wants to, so many guys come up. Can I help you? Can I help you? It's funny. The other day when I was on Fox and Friends with Elizabeth Hasselbeck, changing a tire in our heels. We were learning how to change a flat tire. So I had never done it in my heels before, and I had to do it in like 5 minutes. So I was practicing all day Saturday and Sunday and setting this up in my heels, doing this tire. I can't tell you how many men came by and were like, do you need some help? Do you need some help? Do you need some help? Every 2 minutes, it was frustrating. I'm like, I'm trying to work here. But, the point is a lot of men need these resources and education as well. Yeah. The biggest issue between men and women is the perception, the stereotype, and the confidence.
Right.
That, and that's the big, and it's not even anything that's tangible. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When it comes to this, which is what's crazy. So that's why I talk about giving women the confidence and feeling good about the decision that they make. It's empowering. It's empowering to know that you're making a good decision about your car.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it gives you a little bit of your power back if you've given it away. I know plenty of people you talk about from 16 on up who don't even learn about oil changes or cars or anything because they've had a brother or a cousin or someone to always take care, and then it transitions into whoever their mate is. But it feels good to not feel in the dark about something that you're in at least 6 hours a day, depending on travel and circumstances. Don't let it be a grocery shopping day. You're in that car 12 hours that day.
Right. So, and I don't know if this is the right time to mention this or not, because I just got another email about this. There's a lot of people in the industry that love what I'm doing and think it's great. And then, of course, I'm getting people in the industry that don't like what I'm doing. And they think I'm wrong, and they don't think the automotive industry discriminates against women. They don't think that women are taken advantage of. And and they think by me saying that is making it worse, making things worse. And for me, I'm just like, and ultimately how the automotive industry kind of looks at it is the reason that people feel mistreated, misunderstood, or taken advantage of because they're not educated. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is true. Mm-hmm. Women, we're guarded with these decisions. We come in, we feel taken advantage of, we don't know what to do, and it's because we are uneducated, and then we're left at the mercy of whoever we feel might be the best. We don't make educated decisions about our cars,
right?
And which is true. It's because we don't have that education. But it's like when you work, and to my point is, you guys are in business to provide these services or products to your customers. It is your job to educate them on this and have them feel comfortable. And the industry's like, well, women are just, they're just not educated, and we're not really taking advantage of them. And it's just like, well, you are. If you're not educating your consumer, your customer, so they feel good about it, you are taking advantage of them, because you can put little things in there that they don't realize. And I've seen it. I've seen the automotive industry do it. They do it in these chains. They do it in the dealerships, and it's because people aren't educated. They're not detailed enough to understand why they may need something and why they don't. And I know this because I was on the other side of it, and now that I get into it, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So it's kind of interesting to me as I go forward with this on how people are perceiving it. And I do a lot of the branding on, I was taken advantage of, and it discriminates against women. And it does, and that's what gets the message out there, because there are millions of women who can relate. That's what makes them relatable. But I want to make sure that, I am fixing the root cause, which is really about educating women about how cars work, how to take care of them, and also bringing more women into this industry, which I believe is truly the root cause. And that's what I, tell people. The reason we have these issues with women and not understanding or being educated is because there's so few women who work in the industry, and it's run by men. And this is also a very culturally, divided industry. Okay. It's definitely not as forward thinking or progressive when it comes to women, you know? And so here you have this culture that's been this way for hundreds of years, and it's dominated by men, and the number one customer is women, and they're trying to understand this emotional need for women, and it's not possible. And I have shops coming to me and saying, can you come speak to shops about how they get more women customers? There are women out there that do that, and they go and they speak at shops and tell them how to get female customers. And to me, I'm like, you need to hire women, period. Like, what are you doing for women in your shop? It's not about having clean bathrooms and smiling at them and offering them certain types of promotions. Are you educating them? Do you have workshops? Right. Do you have women working there that you're saying, are you working with schools to say, how do we get female mechanics? And showing that you care. It's not just about, well, how do I just interact with them better? It's showing that you are trying to add value to women's lives and that you care about women, and not just, oh, well, we're just trying to sell to them.
Right.
Again.
Right.
Yeah, so, and I think women, we understand that. We like doing business with other women. We understand the importance of that. We feel more comfortable with it, and so a huge part of my mission is just getting more women into this industry, and how we can do that with Girls Auto Clinic is changing that, and female empowerment's huge right now.
Yes.
I mean, what's bigger than that? And and it's not been touched in the automotive industry, and I'd love to see it. And I think it's going to be tough, because this is an old boys club. I mean, I've been engineering. I come from, it's an old boys club. And this is going to be tough. And which is why I'm trying to create my own culture, create my own shops, have female mechanics. So you don't have to try to change these cultures over here and get bruised and battered and bloodied as a woman working with these guys, and have to be very strong in order to be successful. You can come into an environment that is going to educate you, is going to be about inclusion, about empowerment, about developing the women in this industry, and that's important. That's important at your job. That's why so many women, there's a lot of women that like to work on cars and want to do it, and they don't, because of this discrimination they face, because it's so hard for us to be in it. We don't have the support that we need, and we end up dropping out or quitting and thinking we're not good enough, we can't do it, it's just too hard. And I'd like to provide some support there and more comfort, and a place that's going to be engaging for women to work and be able to work on cars.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I think you are doing that because you are a very feminine woman. You are very shapely, you're very petite, you wear these cute red heels and your Shecanic top, as your uniform. Janae Monet, who's a singer, has her black and white. You have your Shecanic t-shirt and heels. And it does feel good to be able to look at that brand of you and your company and say, you don't have to think, grease under your fingernails, grease on your face, dirty, although you may get grease on your face, but it doesn't have to be yucky. Yeah. Right.
Well, and I do get yucky, and my Shecanic shirts at the bottom say "I get dirty," and I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to get and that's who women really are. We aren't afraid to get down and dirty, to do what we need to do to provide for our family, to take care of ourselves, to take care of our children. We'll do it. If it means getting our hands dirty, or breaking a nail. But I can also be feminine, and I can also be a woman and wear red heels. And that's some of the backlash that I've been getting from the industry is they don't think I'm a mechanic. They think because I'm attractive, I wear red heels, I'm not taken seriously. And it's interesting because even a woman said, well, what are you a mechanic or are you a marketing person? And I said, well, I'm a mechanic and I'm a marketing person and I'm a leader and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm an engineer. You know, like, why can't I am all of these things? Why do I have to be one or the other? Because I'm attractive, I can't be all of these things because I wear red heels. I can't be all of these things. Like, it's just, it's interesting, people's take on it. And
trying to put you in a box. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And for me, it's like, I just want women to know that you can be who you are and work on cars, learn about cars, and you don't have to be unfeminine or manly to do this or to know about it. It's not for men, it's for everyone.
Right. Yeah. No, you're talk about bringing balance to a business. You're bringing it to a whole industry from a gender equality standpoint, and just helping them understand, like, if we're your number one customer, how do you not take us as the priority when you do your hiring and you think about how we want to look into a mirror when we walk in and feel some feminine energy that's intelligent and knowledgeable. I don't want to just have the woman be the cashier, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I want her to be able to get behind that car too and educate me, especially if I've had negative experiences.
And I say a lot, like, it's blowing my mind, like, why hasn't this been done before? You would think somebody would have thought of this. And I talked to a woman in the automotive industry, and she said, well, people have tried, but they usually run out of resources, energy, time, and, and maybe they just had a different vision or plan for it, so... maybe because I come out already with the idea of I'm creating this business surrounding women, where most of them don't. They have this business and they see this need and they want to help. Where I'm like, from jump, I'm not trying to open a shop to be a mechanic. I'm not trying to open a shop to repair cars, right? I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to educate people, and I'm trying to create a movement, here. So from the beginning, that's my mission and my goal. So I'm probably approaching this a little bit differently than some other people would.
No, very strategically.
Yeah. And I'm here for women, and that's what I want people to know with my message. And that's getting a lot of people upset. I'm not here for the automotive industry, I'm here for women. I'm here to help women. I see a need, I saw a problem, and I want to do what I can to help and solve the problem.
Right. No, that totally makes sense. It's just, it's mind-boggling that that's bothering people. Like, I can't grasp. Why would it bother someone that you're helping women who is their customer? You're not taking business from them. So I don't get that.
Because they think I'm talking bad about the industry by saying, well, the industry discriminates against women, the industry misunderstands women, that they take advantage of women, even though there's statistics out there that show that. I'm like, it's not me. It's, I'm not, just because I'm saying it and I'm marketing my business in a way based off of that. But it's not that I'm trying to fearmonger people. Like, it's my story,
right.
If this is my story, this is what I know. So of course I'm going to explain it. I was taken advantage of. I know women who are, and I know tons of women who are, thousands of women. So, you may not be taking advantage of people, and I don't want you to take that personally, but a lot of people are taking it personally.
Right.
Because I'm coming out here saying, I'm going to help women. And when you do that, you're admitting that there's a problem. You're saying there's a problem here. And a lot of people in the industry don't want to admit that there's a problem. And that's the problem. Like, that's part of it, is saying there's a problem here with the way these practices have been set up over the years. And it's not really geared towards women. It's not. It's just it's a problem with all customers. It just falls more heavily on women because of the stereotypes with women in cars,
right.
And the fact that women don't work in the industry. So it's not. And I can see how they're saying, well, we're not doing this just to women. They're not. It just falls heavily on the woman than the man because of the stereotypes and the cultures. Yeah.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You have a heavy crown on your head because you're taking on is this $1 billion industry?
Oh, this is a multi-billion dollar. Just for women alone, spend $200 billion a year buying and repairing cars. And, you know, so that's where I'm like, that's where I'm hitting. That's my number one customer. That's where they are. We're going to offer buying, you know, repair services to women. And they're looking for it. And, you know, women attach to this so quick because they're so tired of the status quo,
right.
You know, and that they do attach to it fast. And it's getting a lot of attention because of that, you know, and it's just hitting a lot of chords, it's hitting a lot of nerves. And, you know, it's taken off. We'll see what we can do with it.
You're doing amazing things already. You just won, what was it, the Miller Lite competition?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So, and it's funny because I applied for, and I'm a persistent person. I'm very persistent. You know, I applied for this competition last year, mm-hmm. and I didn't get accepted. And it came around again. They do it every year. Miller Lite does a national business competition, and they've partnered with Damon John of Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. And they travel to 6 different cities in the country, and they're looking for the best new business idea, kind of like on Shark Tank, where you'll pitch for 5 minutes your business idea, and they just select, instead of who they're going to invest in, they select who wins, who has the best idea. And so we were one of 30 in the nation selected. I applied again this year, and we got to pitch in Philly, which is our hometown. I think that helped a lot because we got a lot of people to come out and support us, and the crowd was super interactive and very fun. The pitch was fun, though. I like to have fun. I know right now because it's morning time, I don't seem super energetic, but you can tell on stage, like, I like to be engaging. I like to have fun. The pitch was amazing. It went down well. People were laughing, cheering. They had a really good host, Kenny Burns. He's like the president and CEO of Revolt TV, and he was hilarious and was interacting with us. So, and I wanted it to be that. It was a lot of fun, and I pitched it with a woman who's helping me with the nail salon. So I'm not sure if the listeners know. I'm in the process of opening my first repair garage in Philly. It's going to cater to women. We'll full service repair on your cars. We'll have female mechanics and technicians working there. And then there'll also be a nail salon, so you can get your nails done while you're waiting for your car. And a nice, pretty lounge that's comfortable. It's tailored to women, so we feel, you know, comfortable and warm and inviting. And we'd want to stay and wait for an hour or two if we have to for our cars. So the woman who's helping me with the nail salon and running it, since I know nothing about that, although I like to get my nails done, she helped me pitch it because we talk about, if we win this $200,000, this is how we're going to use it for this shop. And it went really well. Everybody was just clapping and cheering. Damon John loved it. He even shared a story about his daughters. His daughter is taking a woodworking class in school, and just there are other women who aren't in it, and the teacher thought she was there just because a boyfriend, you know, was in the class and just wasn't taking her seriously, you know. And so it was great. It was a great experience. It's a little nerve-wracking. My partner that was helping me pitch was really nervous, and when I did my TED Talk, I was super nervous for like 2 or 3 days up. I was like, oh my God, I don't know why do I do this to myself? Why do I accept to do these things? And then I'm a nervous wreck. But then I told myself, Patrice, like, you're missing out on some incredible moments because you're so worried and anxious. And I said to myself, I want this to be a memory that is great, that's fun, that I'm going to remember, and not one filled with anxiety and stress. So anytime I do these big things where I'm on TV or exposed in front of, you know, a lot of people, I try to remember that, saying this should be fun. You want to look back and tell your grandkids about this moment and how amazing the experience was, and enjoy it, right? And be in the moment. And when you can tell yourself that, it makes you relax a little bit and just have fun. And it shows, because people know, you know, like, the pitch was the best. It was the best pitch. It was, a lot of people were nervous up there, and we were just having fun with it. So,
but you're so passionate about what you do, I can't imagine you not having fun. Although the nervousness makes sense because you want to make sure it's polished and executed well, and that you communicate it clearly. But you're so passionate on so many levels with what you do, with educating and empowering.
I definitely don't lack passion.
Well, your whole face lights up.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know where that comes from. It's just, I tell people all the time, like, this is just proof that I'm walking, living proof that this is, like, we are here for a purpose, and this is my destiny. Because, you know, I don't know what gives me this glow when I talk about it. I don't know what gives me this passion and this, you know, just heart of speaking and doing this and waking me up every day. I'm like, it's who I am. It's a part of who I am now, and I understand this is my purpose, this is my destiny. And when you're walking in your destiny and in your purpose, it's just incredible the things that happen for you and how much you grow as a person. You know, the people around you grow, and just, you know, it's life changing. It definitely was. This just changed my life for 100% better. And that's what makes me understand when people talk about having a business is really hard, but worth it. That's what's worth. It's worth knowing that you are fulfilling your purpose. There's no other feeling than that, you know, that you can have in terms of being satisfied. We're always looking for that something that's, you know, hungering for more. And that's usually what it is we're not walking in our purpose, you know?
Absolutely. I think when you're balanced by the fact that emotionally that you know you're doing what you're here to do, and this is all part of the process and the journey to get there. So even when maybe environmental chaos, because it happens, especially if you're a business owner, it happens if you're in a professional career path, like when you're in your engineer hat. I'm sure there was some environmental, cultural stuff that you couldn't control there that kind of could feel non-balancing at that time. You feel a sense of peace, which feels so weird. Like, why do I have peace when clearly there's so much stuff going wrong around me?
Yes, you know, and you have to learn. Like, the one thing about this business is initially I wasn't like that. I was just, everything made me anxious and super excited. But you can't be that way. It's going to teach you lessons to help you grow and get better. And every day, I get better, and that's why my business gets better. You know, I really focus on how do I get better. And when these challenges and obstacles come up, I used to complain and worry and stress. And now I'm like, yes, because I realize that is a challenge and an opportunity for me to get stronger and get better. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'm like, oh, something to learn. Yes, I got something to learn. And it's going to be a little bit tough, but it's making me better. And I don't want to say I look forward to it, but I look at those challenges and obstacles completely different, as a, like, let's go, I'm ready, I'm taking it on, instead of falling back and getting afraid and getting scared or wanting to quit because it's looked at as a failure. I look at it as a challenge that I want to complete and to exceed and excel and yeah.
Absolutely. So it's your challenge to greatness. There's a blessing in every lesson if you receive it. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's so important to really, really be able to master your mind and control your mind when you're running a business. And the thoughts in your head, and you're listening to your gut and your instincts, and you're going to be challenged. You're going to definitely be challenged as a person in your core values. And your strengths, your weaknesses are gonna pop up like you wouldn't believe, and they're gonna be exposed. And the people who are up for the challenge to getting better are the ones who succeed.
Absolutely. But you made a good point earlier when you talked about the importance of having mentors and advisors. There's some anchoring in that. They're not going to, magically wave a wand and fix everything, but it's so important to have that. And a lot of women don't have that.
You know what? I'll tell you, I've always had, even as an engineer, I've always had mentors, and I understood the importance of that. I had more than one, but they were all male. And until I left DuPont and I started this business, and I'm working with a bunch of men, and it's not the corporate America culture where they have to be a certain type of respectable and be a certain type of way because human resources enforces this, right? I'm amazed. And I'm like, I need a female mentor. I need a woman that can help me stay grounded, still be a woman, understand how to interact with some of these guys, deal with their egos and their pride, and also still stay healthy and sane myself. And as a woman, it's tough. It's tough out here. And so I was really looking for a female mentor. And I found one, actually, my TED speaking coach.
That's awesome.
yeah, so and I was putting it out there into the universe saying I need a female mentor. I know I'm going to find one. I'll just put it out there. I do have a male mentor and advisor. He's from SCORE. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you've heard of the organization SCORE. Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful, mm-hmm. wonderful resource. Wonderful to me. That was one of the best decisions I made, was sign up with him. And he was a high-level executive at Gulf Oil. So he's got a lot, and a serial entrepreneur, so he has a lot of experience. And he's mainly just helps me, because he's been through this whole experience of being an entrepreneur. I go to him whenever I am having problems, or I'm feeling doubts, or I feel like I want to quit, or I have failures, because he helps me put things into perspective. Right. Because he knows, and he's been there, and he knows that this is a great idea, it's a great concept, and that it's important that you have the right people in place to help you, do these things and make them successful. You can't do it by yourself. Yeah. So it's he recognizes that, and he's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then I just meet a lot of people through networking, and I'm always, I love meeting people, and networking is so important to your business, and just getting out there and talking about what you're doing and how you're helping people. And so I have a board of advisors now just from networking, women saying, this is amazing. I have a woman, she was a senior, she was a partner at McKinsey mm-hmm. and Company. And now she left to start her own business, and she's now a senior advisor for them. But I met her through a networking event, and she loves this idea, and she's like, I want to start a board of advisors for you, and I'm going to be on it. And she's been tremendous help. She helped a lot with the pitch. We practiced in front of her, and she gave me a lot of great ideas. Mm-hmm. She helped me a lot with my numbers and getting them more understandable in terms of what we want to make in our projections and stuff. It's advisors and mentors are so key.
They are. And you raised another point, Patrice, because you mentioned earlier, you're not trying to bash men because you're trying to empower women. And you're even bringing it full circle with saying, for my mentors and my advisors, I value women being in my life in a supportive, advising, mentor way. But you also recognize what men bring to the table when they have that right experience as well. And you're saying, I appreciate both. I'm just on the path of empowerment for women.
Right. You bring that up, and it makes me think of the shop when I say I'm hiring female mechanics and technicians, and people say, well, are you only hiring women? Mm-hmm. And that answer is no. Diversity is very important, and I'm a huge believer in that. And I want to hire men because I know men bring a lot of great ideas and skills to the table when it comes to working on cars, and I want to have that male perspective. So every shop will have, men there as well, not just women, because it's important that you have both and both strengths together. That's what makes diversity so great. And so I've always believed in that, and think it's important to have both a male and a female mentor. But where I lacked was definitely a female, and I think women don't. We don't have because we look to our girlfriends or maybe our mom. And I'll tell you, I have a therapist I go to when I'm dealing with difficult emotions. Right. I have a female mentor. I have a male mentor, and it's I have several people depending on what I'm dealing with. Yeah,
that's right.
And that are my support circle. I wrote them down. I even write them down. And I know these are the people I go to. Mm-hmm. These are the people I don't go to. You can't go to everybody with questions and advice or problems. You have to have a core group. And I learned that the hard way, is saying, okay, if I have this issue or this problem, these are the people I know I can talk to about it and get help. Yeah.
Absolutely. You better preach that thing right there.
You're going to need that support. It's essential. It's very essential. Your husband or boyfriend or spouse, if you're a male, if it's your wife, that is going to be really, if you're starting a business, that relationship is going to be extremely important, and having their full support, that, is very, very important as well.
Absolutely. You hit so many good points. Well, I already know that with all your support and with all your wacky, wonderful opportunities and participation, that you know how to bring it down, because I've seen some of those photos with you at the beach.
Yes. I love the beach. I love the water. It's very calming. It's the only thing that really, really settles my mind
Yeah.
and doesn't have me thinking about work is being at the beach and the waves. I think it's because it just reminds me that I'm a really small, tiny piece of ground. There's a grain of sand, compared to this world and the universe and just the vastness of it. It puts things in perspective for you.
It does.
Which definitely humbles you and calms you down. It makes you feel like, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
It does. So that's how you relax. Is that also what refuels you, or do you get refueled some other kind of way?
Definitely going to the beach and being near water relaxes me. I do a lot of meditating, especially when I'm stressed or going through a difficult emotion or feeling a difficult emotion. I'll meditate so I won't snap. The gym, working out, helps re-energize me for sure.
Yeah.
That's usually good. I like, but it's like when you're working so much, you one of the things that I've learned is I work when I'm energized, when I'm feeling it, and then when I need to rest, I rest. I don't have really a set schedule. I was trying to really set a schedule for me, like in corporate America, and I'm going to work from every morning from this time and it just it didn't work that way. And so, and I was struggling with that balance. And what helped me get the balance is saying, Patrice, when you are energized to work, when you feel good to work. But when you're tired and you're stressed, rest. It's important that you get the rest. And when you rest, you rest.
Exactly.
You don't about work, you don't do work, you have to really rest your mind as well as your body.
You're listening to your body
and be okay with it. Yes, and be okay with it. Understand that it's important. It's part of you working hard too. It's not you not doing work. This is part of you being efficient and effective with work. And I struggled so hard with that, thinking like, I need to answer emails, no, I can't go to sleep. And it was wearing me out. That was wearing me. I've been wearing myself out a lot in the beginning because I am such a perfectionist, and I had to learn the hard way about how to take care of myself if I want to help other people.
Absolutely. You have to be filled up for you to pour out, which obviously you've gotten that message and you've sent it to your body, which is important. So what do you recommend for someone who wants to go somewhere, anywhere in the globe, and they just need to bring it down, but maybe they're not near a beach? What would be a favorite place to stay that you would recommend?
The funny thing about, and I'm a spiritual person and meditate, and it's anywhere because it's in your mind, it's in your head, it's within you. The peace is. It helps when you are in a peaceful environment. And I always believe that is outside, somewhere in nature. Be connected, take your shoes off and touch the grass and be connected to what's outside. Like, being in the sand on the beach and realizing there's a bigger purpose here, just the vastness of the world, and you're a tiny grain of sand, and it puts things in perspective. So it's important, I think, to connect with nature and get out and breathe. And get out into the woods or into a park or something like that, into the sun, just being in the sun first thing in the morning when the sun's rising, beaming on your face, like that is, I tell you, it's just breathing that in. It's just energizing. And how, something about that, I don't know. I don't do coffee. I don't do energy drinks. I don't try all these tricks to help me stay awake, and it's more about peace of mind.
Right.
And meditating and being able to find that anywhere you go.
That is
it's helpful if there's a beach, or you're somewhere very calming. But you should be able to find it, in a crowded supermarket and be able to find your inner peace and stuff. It's more difficult. I struggle with it. You have to work at it. It's something you definitely have to work at. But any successful business person will tell you that is essential. And a lot of them meditate or have some type of renewing of their mind practice when things get stressful, and that's what helps me, is getting out into nature, getting out into the universe.
That is so important and so incredibly powerful. There you go with that passion, purpose, and empowerment part that just kind of oozes out of you without you trying. I'm still smiling at you saying that you have low energy in the morning because you're our bundle of energy, so I'm a little afraid of what real energy looks like from you.
I don't think I'm a bundle of energy. I think you know why? Because I feel calm. I don't feel like, I'm up into that. I'm normally talking like a mile a minute. Like my mind is running wild. Like I need this, and this. And the mornings are usually, it takes me a while to get that up started.
Yeah.
So when we first started talking before we were recording, it was like I'm slow, and because my brain's still waking up. I don't drink coffee. It's not like an instant click. It kind of slow to happen, and I think you can see my energy shifted a little bit.
It did. And it wasn't courtesy of virtual peppermint tea. That's my favorite.
Yeah. So
that's so awesome. You have been amazing as expected. Tell every balance beamer out there listening how to connect with you.
So I also forgot to mention, I wanted to say this. I am a Libra. So we are Libra the Scales, which is all about balance. So I love this podcast and about balancing because that is essential to life. I mean, I'm biased here because I'm a Libra, but I'm always looking for that balance and always striving for that in my life. So I just wanted to say that, which is, I think is awesome. But so you can find me very easily. Everything is Girls Auto Clinic. Online, girlsautoclinic.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Girls Auto Clinic, Instagram and Twitter at Girls Auto Clinic. I am also on LinkedIn, all of the social, the major ones, LinkedIn as well, if you want to connect that way. So yeah, check me out. I have a Shecanics Facebook community that I'm so excited about. Ever since I started this business, I wanted to have a place where women could ask questions about their cars and like get someone to answer them, almost like a 1-800 hotline or something. And so I recently I've kind of found a way to do that with this Shecanics Facebook page, which is like a safe, judgment-free zone. It's just women. You can get on there, ask any questions that you want. Hey, do I need this air filter? My car is making this noise. What do you think it is? Or share a story. This happened to me, or a buyer beware. And there's women drivers, and then there's female mechanics or women in the industry that answer their questions. And it's just been doing so well, and women are asking questions and getting almost instantaneous answers that are helpful, that make them feel better and feel good. And so I really like that. I'm really, really proud of that. So you can if you go to my website, there's a link to join, or you just type in Shecanics when you're on Facebook. I think it could be really helpful for a lot of women, just with your quick questions too. If you're at a quick loop and they want to sell you an oil, a air filter, take a snap it, put it on there. Do I need a new one? Something like that. We're trying to be here to help and provide resources. So that's all my online stuff where you can find me. And my email too is info@girlsautoclinic.com. So you can email me as well.
This girl is branded.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love the Shecanics t-shirt, by the way. Big plug. What does it say at the bottom? I get a little dirty.
I get dirty. I get dirty. It's a Shecanics. And the Shecanics is, a lot of people think it's a female mechanic. And it's not. I wanted a Shecanics. It's the name of my, the movement, like this community of car savvy women where you are ready to learn about your car. You're letting go of the fear of the uncertainty, and you're not afraid to step in and say, I'm gonna get dirty, but I want to learn. You're getting the glove box guide, the Girls Auto Clinic glove box guide. You're coming to workshops, things like that, where you're being empowered by your car and you're feeling good about it. So I like to call them Shecanics, and I've kind of created this whole movement around it. Yeah.
Which is super fly and awesome. I'm actually on the Shecanics Facebook page, and I love the community, the stories that are shared, not just by yourself, but by the other women that are participating from other mechanics. So like you said, other drivers. It's pretty incredible. So I implore all balance beamers listening, if you are participating in the Facebook platform, definitely like her page, and then you can join, click the link, and you can go right through the website to do that. We'll make sure we put all that right underneath the YouTube and SoundCloud for everyone listening. Patrice, you're awesome. You're a Shecanics. You're completely incredible.
Thank you very much Well, you're awesome too, doing all these things and helping me get the word out. I really appreciate it. I mean, this is what being a woman entrepreneur is about, is we're helping other people be successful. And that's why it's working, you know, and that's why you're seeing all these women-owned businesses and how we're growing way more than male businesses, is because we understand the importance of doing these types of things and helping each other build. So I'm so excited for women and women entrepreneurs in the future, for sure.
No, me too. We're stronger together. There's no question.
Definitely.
We're stronger
Absolutely.
together. You're phenomenal. You stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Balance Beamers, you've been awesome listening. We appreciate you tuning in as always. Definitely go visit Patrice Banks at Girls Auto Clinic, and we'll have all that information. So if you're driving, we definitely don't want you to stop or get into an incident, because then you'll need Patrice for a completely different reason. But stay right there. We'll be back.
Money, not that much.
Right, exactly. She wants to help, but not that way. So Balance Beamers, stay tuned. We have more tools for you to infuse. Welcome back. This is another empowerment moment just for you. Today, I want to talk to you about the fact that you have to enjoy the process as you prepare to prosper. That's something that we lose sight on. We get so tangled up in the minutia, the details, all the things that haven't been done, all the things we still have yet to do, and we're not enjoying where we are. What about the fact that you've achieved those degrees that you've been looking to gain? All the work you put into this moment for this job, this particular angle. Maybe it's a minimum wage position in this moment. Maybe it's only a first level in your CX level position future that you've prepared or planned for yourself, but you've done so much more than you give yourself credit for. And although you have a ways to go, enjoy the process. This journey will never be repeated, and you will always have lessons that you can take from this that propel you to your next self. Take this empowerment moment home and digest it.